Welcome to HorrorTube. I'm Josh.
I'm Rob, motherfuckers. We're high.
Welcome to the Saturday show. The less formal between the two.
This show, we talk about whatever the fuck we want
There's no format.
in horror.
We kind of I've recently just kind of picked one topic,
Yeah.
which is kind of a nice, step away from having to have a script and everything's sectioned out. And I was kind of reading like bots for a little bit.
Right. So we're chilling, man. Like we this is the show where we actually discuss what we smoked beforehand. I had a blackberry goji vape, and what the fuck was the other one? Platinum Kush was what we smoked from me. You good?
Mine. I'm not kidding. It's called Big Tits. And it's funny because on it just has BT, like just the initials, but under it, the person wrote Big Tits. Fantastic stuff.
So we had some big tits from Josh. What a combination.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
I'm feeling good, bro.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. This is gonna be a super fun episode. Much like with every other episode of HorrorTube, Josh just like throws hella things at me because he loves like coming up with topics for HorrorTube.
Yes.
This is like one of his favorite fucking things, along with the list for Horror Wars and the list of Doom for Horror Wars. No, say it.
The List of Doom.
Yes. And the Horror Club.
Yes.
These are like your three favorite things to do.
I'm usually hyped for the wars when it's movies I at least know.
Right.
Like, I'm not spoiling shit, but 50 I think it is.
Yeah.
That one I'm like, oh, I'm gonna fucking bust. We're gonna be talking,
Episode 50 is gonna be a fucking banger.
The war is gonna be like 4 hours, dude. We better order some food. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Take fucking breaks. Block out the fucking sun.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be a wild episode. And yeah, I have up to like episode 75 planned already for Horror Wars. So
and Sam Hain's Havoc 3 is just around the bend, dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit retooled this year, but yeah, it's right around the bend. Oh yes. So today's episode, of course, with much like every other episode of HorrorTube, we have our main topic, and then we have like a little break-off segment at the end. Mm-hmm. We discuss. I think today we're going to discuss our little segment at the end is going to be our draft.
Oh yeah,
for the NFL for football because
American football
because if you've been following Josh and I since beta testers or whatever,
holy shit,
we have a very big love for American football.
Yes.
My favorite team since 1996 has been the Carolina Panthers.
And mine since I don't know what year, but sometime in my childhood in the 90s, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yep. So we have a nice little rivalry of our own.
Our teams do play each other quite a bit.
They play each other quite a bit, yeah. And we also like to trade with you guys a lot.
Yeah.
Like the Steelers and the Panthers they trade with each other as much as the Panthers and the Eagles.
I was gonna say, man, if you think about it, remember like when in the NFL when they like put the Eagles and the Steelers together, they was
the Steagles. Yeah.
Could you imagine like if they kind of did that now, but it was with the Panthers, it'd be like the Steel Panthers or some shit.
The Steel Panthers sounds like an 80s fucking memorial group.
Yep, same idea.
Jesus Christ. I think there actually is a group called Steel Panther, and they do like 80s tribute songs or some shit like that.
It's that Glory Hole song.
Yeah. They started out as a mock band, and then they became like a real band. Yeah, it's fucking weird. So today's episode, the main focal point, which Josh is like super duper excited about.
I got the shakes, bro.
Yeah. So why don't you go ahead and introduce it?
So, I kind of use the Horror Wars opportunity to talk about, I guess, the stuff that I would think that Rob is really interested in. Weirdly enough, I focused it on something that he could be excited for because he plans all of the episodes for Horror Wars, so you know what's coming. So there's really no like, ooh, big surprise.
Right.
You kind of go off of my excitement from the things you send me because
Right.
as soon as you tell me the titles of the movies, I start watching the trailers and then I'm just like, yeah, this looks good.
Right. Right.
So for this, I always think it's something that Rob's always into. So it's the, however you want to pronounce it, the what mythos, whatever,
Mythos.
would you like to see used in horror? Because we've talked about a couple movies. I don't remember the names, but
Relic.
where they've used the Aztec god of a recent movies. They've used like a Norse one. I forget the name of it, but it was like
One is like
big
no one
deer.
gets out alive or some shit like that. The other one,
Even Smile was kind of like that. It was
even
some kind
Smile
of
was like a deity of
Yeah.
some form, or some mythos.
So what sort of like even a story character that's part of
Right.
like a volume of it you could use?
Now, and this is where it's crazy, because so many cultures around the world have like gods or demons or ghosts or crazy deities
Yep.
that are made up as nightmare stories, or even kids stories like lullabies and nursery
Or
rhymes,
the Grimm's Tales with Cinderella
the
and
Grimm's
stuff.
Tales, all that shit. Yeah, like I listened to a podcast called Time Suck, and the host is Dan Cummins.
Shout outs.
Shout outs, absolutely. He's a fantastic comedian as well. He's very impartial, by the way.
Right.
Like super duper down the line.
As we all should be.
He did an episode like the origins of these fairy tales and lullabies and shit, and it's fucking wild. Like there's a lot of wild shit that different countries have. A lot of their bedtime stories and shit is like, if you don't go to bed, this boogeyman's gonna fucking eat you.
Even that's in our top 5 movies of Sinister. That's kind of based off of another part of the
Mythos,
yeah. The devil's, friends, I guess. Every of these fucking powerful lieutenants, or whatever.
Yeah, the seven lieutenants, generals, whatever. So we both, without realizing that we were gonna do like a countdown, I think that our brain just defaulted into
The
like
list of doom.
do it.
The list of doom.
Yeah, we kind of defaulted into that by doing this. So I went from number 5 to number 1.
Same.
So, okay. You're going to hear a little bit of movement from me, but that's because I'm holding the phone that we're recording on, holding the microphone,
Holding a
cigarette.
While holding his meat with his feet.
While holding my meat with my feet.
Sitting on a Bosu ball, ass naked.
Butt ass naked.
He's like Buddha.
So, do you want to go ahead and give your number 5?
Okay. So mine kind of stays in the same realm, but it's because this is another topic that I could talk about for hours. And this is Greek mythology. And I've thought of using Aphrodite as a sort of goddess that could have used her seduction and stuff, because she could bring it in when she wanted in,
Right.
into sort of a curse, to where you're cursed to the point where you love someone so much you wind up killing them. And of course, one of the main characters gets cursed, but she's trying to break it, and it's a female. And instead of it being to where the boyfriend does it, she slowly becomes maddened, and then it is a downer ending, of course. And she kills the boyfriend, but
Gotta have those downer endings.
she falls into the curse of Aphrodite. So I've always wanted to use kind of like what's supposed to be the more happier side of Greek mythology with her.
And turn it on its ear.
And turn it upside down.
Right. I mean, love can always go wrong, so.
And what I feel would be like a new fresh take on horror with that is just using Greek myths, because we don't really get that many besides kind of like your super actiony ones, like what was it, like Remember the Titans or whatever that movie was, and shit like that. They talk about it, but not the darker sides of that, unless you're playing God of War.
Right.
So yeah.
Or you listen to Time Suck, because
that,
he talks a lot about that shit too. So my top 5, I went around the world.
Shout out to Jackie Chan.
Shout out to Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson. Yeah. Anyway, so my number 5 is of Scottish origin.
Oh yes, my people. That's why I have the red beard. Seriously.
The Selkie folk.
Okay.
Selkies are sometimes referred to as Selkie folks. Scots Selkie folk, meaning seal folk. Selkies are mainly associated with the Northern Isles of Scotland, where they are said to live as seals in the sea, but shed their skin to become human on land.
Ooh, that is creepy as shit.
Bro, the first time I got introduced to the myth or the lore of Selkie folk was a book in the 5th grade that we were reading for English class. It was called A Stranger Came Ashore.
Nice.
And his name is funny, but shout out to Mr. Panis.
Shout outs.
Shout outs. Because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know what that book is. And it is a kid's story, but it is horrifying because of the way they depict the dude Finn, I think was his name, shedding the Selkie skin and all that. Like,
ooh,
could you imagine a horror movie with like these seals that descend on a small Scottish town and massacre people?
I think you could make that as okay. So I saw that you recently watched The Lamb with the kid with the goat head, and it was weird as shit from Scandinavia. Imagine they make a part 2 to that, but they use those.
Yeah,
because they kind of have that model of a human or a fish type thing shedding its skin.
Right.
So
Lots of movement for me. I'm sorry.
no, you're good, bro.
It's going to be popping all over the fucking place. Oh, yeah.
No, you were pretty still. I was just more impressed with putting out the whole cigarette, bro.
No, thank you.
That was some ninja shit.
All right, so what is your number 4, sir?
So, and it's funny you bring that up about an old teacher with a book, because ironically enough, my love for Greek mythology came from shout outs to Mr. Thomas.
Yeah, Mr. Thomas, there you go.
I like to read this book that had 100 stories of Greek mythology, and I read it so much for my 8th grade graduation, he let me take the book. I still
Nice.
have that shit in my room
Hell
right
yeah.
now.
Oh, and because of Mr. Panis, I actually own a copy of A Stranger Came Ashore.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
So, again, staying in the realm of Greek mythology, that's pretty much what you're going to hear from me,
Okay.
is the tale of Narcissus, a man who once again
Ooh.
fell in love with himself so
Yep.
much he starved to death.
Yep.
He gave up his god powers to remain looking at himself and died
Right.
because he didn't care about anything but that.
Right.
I would also like that to be some form of a curse.
Yeah.
You could have someone that's very vain or someone that's actually isn't in love with themselves and they hate themselves, but they're cursed and forced to love themselves, even though it's like this weird psychological thing, hence going nuts.
Yeah. I like that. Would you go like a serial killer path with that?
Yes, 100%.
100% serial killer. What would Narcissus's fate be in your movie? Would it be a downer ending?
Oh, yes. I would like it to be some sort of like Texas Chainsaw thing
Okay.
where they want to be more beautiful, so they start taking people's body parts.
Oh, God.
And like, of course, brutally putting
Frankensteining 'em.
themselves into them. Yeah.
Yeah. All
Something
right,
like
man. Ooh, that's...
No, they're going to be all downer endings, bro. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Yeah, mine's not a upper. That was
Yeah.
a pretty downer ending.
Just like how we used to say on the old wrestling podcast, it was like we support the heels around here.
Yeah.
It's like we support downer endings.
Yep.
Also, real quick to interrupt, I've been slowly working on our future list of Doom. Spoilers for whenever that can fit in of best openings.
Yes.
So I've been working on that. So I'm at like 3 out of 5.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so what is your number 4?
Okay. Mine is diving into Japanese folklore.
Ooh. That would be like honorable mentions for me.
Number 4 is the Amanojaku.
Mm-hmm.
It is usually depicted as kind of a small oni and is thought to be able to provoke a person's darkest desires and thus instigates them into perpetrating wicked deeds. It is described as a being with an extremely contrary nature. If they were ordered something, they would do the opposite. One of the Amanojaku's best known appearances is in the fairy tale Yuriko Hime. Yuriko Hime, which is Melon Princess, in which a girl miraculously born from a melon is doted upon by an elderly couple. They shelter her from the outside world, and this fucking bug is like hovering around
Just
my
Hadouken it,
ear. Born is miraculously born from a melon and is doted upon by an elderly couple. They shelter her from the outside world, and she naively lets the Amanojoku inside one day, where it kidnaps or devours her and impersonates the girl by wearing her flayed skin.
Oh, yes. Gross.
Yes. So the Amanojoku is a movie that I would love to see happen.
Yes.
Just like going around wearing the flayed skin of a melon princess.
Yes.
That's just fucked up. That's a horror movie waiting to happen. Okay. What is your number 3?
My number 3 would be kind of... I've always enjoyed it because mine is also in the more Japanese side. It's one of the few times I stepped away from my Greeks. I have actually a tattoo of it on my right bicep, is the Hana mask, which is basically the Japanese equivalent of a very mad female demon. That if you did something bad to her in her death, or that caused her death, she haunted your ass forever, and super spirit warrior thing. So I would want that to be kind of like an Annabelle type situation where they find the mask and it just radiates off this evil, and it kind of brings in like old warriors that are like zombies and shit, or like spirits that can touch physical things. So
Okay.
I want it to be like super brutal. I want someone to somehow wear the mask and just that the mask takes over that person. Now they're just some Evil Dead type shit.
That'd be cool. That'd be fucking dope.
Yeah. It's my number 3.
I like your number 3. My number 3 is the Don.
Nice.
In Irish mythology, Don, the Dark One from Proto-Celtic Dusanos, is an ancestor of the Gaels and is believed to have been the god of the dead. Don is said to dwell in Tech Duin, which is House of Don or House of the Dark One, where the souls of the dead gather. He may have originally been an aspect of the Dagada. Folklore about Don survived into the modern era in parts of Ireland, in which he is said to be the phantom horseman riding a white horse.
That's hot.
That's super fucking hot.
That's cool, dude. These are things I've never ever heard of because I'm stubborn and stick to one thing.
When you suggested this episode, dude, you got to remember, since the Wicker Man episode of Horror Wars, I told you I was falling in love with different folklores from around the world.
Yep.
Since then, I've maintained that love of different folklores from around the world. I've been finding out so many different fucking wild things, like different things that people believe in or whatever. And it's been since that Wicker Man episode of Horror Wars, dude. Like I feel you. Been.
That's why I've kind of even got more deep into like the Evil Dead as much as I have been, because it still is in some kind of Book of the Dead type situation where those are real deities they're talking about. They just are using them differently. So no, 100%. Yeah.
What is your number 2?
I would like to use the myth of Daedalus and his labyrinth in some way that's more horrific than the typical, 80s movie that they made about the labyrinth.
So like Saw-esque.
Yes. I would like to see it still be set in those times, like ancient Greece. They get thrown into it, but we see like Hercules is like maimed and disfigured. He lost the Nemean lion. Like he's punished, so now he's in there and you got to get past him in some way. You keep it a little bit actiony, but you keep it to where you're seeing like the beloved ones you see. And you could even throw in fucking Kratos, bro, and see him dead and shit like that, but like brutal as fuck. So keep it in that same realm of Greek myths being fucked.
And there's definitely a lot of torture that Greek myths have. They're almost as much as the Romans. So, I mean, if not more, maybe. I like that. That's a cool little concept right there, sir. I like that
Yeah,
shit.
these are nice. These are good ones. Good
Yeah,
choices.
These are, yeah. Okay. So for my number two,
Number two.
we're going to travel to Egypt. And we're going to talk about Bob Hef.
Okay.
Bob Hef is the god of terror, specifically spiritual terror. His name translates as that soul. He lived in the house of woe in the afterlife and was known to afflict the king of Egypt. He was never worshipped with a temple, but a cult of Bob Hef existed to help appease the god and protect the king.
Oh.
Bro. If that's not a story of like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde in Egyptian times.
Even, bro, could you imagine like a horror Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, like where a dude is actually like a monster?
Yeah, man.
Not just like, oh, I'm just a buff
Yeah.
sack.
No, that would be fucking sick, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Like-
I like that. That's good.
Yeah, maybe that's what the new Universal monster movie might be, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, because it's being very tight-lipped. But they say it's very gory,
Yeah.
very bloody. So
That's me jacking it.
right. So that's my number two, Bob Hef. I could just imagine this taking place much like you said in like ancient Greece, this being in Egypt, and this god literally terrorizing and taking over, like this cult trying to bring him to life.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like that.
And trying to get away from the kings of Egypt and shit, and like just
unleash this evil.
yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
You know, I was just thinking, oh no, I don't want, it's leaving my brain. There was a movie. You know the Mel Gibson one with the Aztecs, where the whole one is that guy escaping? And
Yeah.
would you consider that horror?
I would consider that to be a fucking horror, like just like I'd consider Prey to be a horror.
I wonder if we could fit
Apocalyptico.
that into a Horror Wars in some way. If there's any kind of remakes, that would have fit with like Green Inferno, because that was a little bit more tribey.
Yeah, but we already used Green Inferno.
I know. Are there any other Spanish ones that we have? You probably could find.
I could look into it. I could definitely look into it.
So where we could use some kind of like, even another Mexico horror film, because Aztecs were in Mexico. So I believe. Don't quote me on that. My history is very bad with other countries because I'm.
No, you're right. I could look into it. If anything, I might be able to put it in with Horror Wars as a horror club.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean too. Could that fit into a horror club?
It would probably be able to fit into a horror club.
I hope we could work that out.
Yeah, I'll be able to do that.
Sorry for the sidetrack.
No,
I
it's fine.
I feel like that's I thought that could also be a hidden gem, because that's not really one talked about. We might have to go into a
We'll
behind
talk.
the scenes about
Yeah.
that one. So, what is your number one or number two?
It's supposed to be your number two, isn't it?
No, I just did mine. Okay, it's your number two.
Wait,
Because
no.
I started.
What was your number two?
It was the Labyrinth, Daedalus.
Okay, and I did my number two.
I think you have to do yours.
I did mine.
So we're on number ones.
Yeah, you're
we're on
number one now.
Yeah.
It's now your number. We're
Yeah,
again.
Yeah, we're baked, dude.
Yeah, we are
Holy
fucking
shit.
going. All right, what's your number one?
So my favorite one is one that not like it's known, but it's not really talked about, like a Hercules or Zeus or whatever. The Tale of Icarus.
Mm-hmm.
Right there is just a horror. Right there, a man trapped for centuries because they wouldn't let him die, and the only way he could get out of this thing is he built his own wings.
Nope.
And he still caused his own death.
Nope.
Because his own invention fucked up. What other way could you do to even make it more modern? You could even have it in a futuristic situation where just the dude's name is Icarus, and he just happens to want to escape a prison, and he doesn't.
Yeah.
There's so many different ways. You could even do that for someone who was betrayed.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You got too close to the end, and then, they fucked you up, and now you're a Michael Myers type situation.
Yep.
I feel like that is one of the best stories to where you can make Icarus a killer or the person that's killed, because he basically killed himself. So
No, I like that. That's fucking dope, man.
thanks, man.
Your number one's really cool.
Thanks.
I know. I really, really like it. I could see that. Like all five of yours are like super dope, and I'm glad you stayed with like the same realm. That's cool. Speaking of realms,
Oh yes. Here we're going to another one.
here we go into another realm. So for anybody that knows me,
Oh yes. I definitely know where this is going.
off of any platform, you'll know that Cthulhu is my absolute
Yep.
favorite deity in any of creation.
Yep.
I own a Cthulhu versus Godzilla t-shirt. I am proud of that shirt because if there's any matchup I'd ever like to see between kaiju, it would be Cthulhu and Godzilla.
Whew. I want the cheesy old one where it's like, you know,
Where he looks like
a
plastic
blow-up
wings.
doll, a blow up doll. Jesus. And he like drop kicks the moth.
So
Hell yeah, dude.
Cthulhu is a fictional cosmic entity created by writer H.P. Lovecraft, who is one of the biggest pieces of shit.
Yeah.
If you
Cool story though.
Yeah, if you look up his writing, you will see that all of his creations were his manifestation of hatred towards black people.
Yeah.
And obviously, we do not condone the writer or any of the writings like that perpetuate that shit.
It's more so just what Cthulhu is.
Right. It was first introduced in his short story, The Call of Cthulhu, published by the American pulp magazine Weird Tales in 1928. Cthulhu is one of the great old ones, a group of powerful beings from another place that now inhabit Earth, waiting to rise up when the stars are right and destroy the human race so they can rule the planet. The old ones are neither good nor evil, meaning that they do not hate humans, they just do not care about them. Cthulhu is known for being a priest or a leader of the Old Ones, a species that came to Earth from the stars before humans' life arose. The Old Ones went dormant, and their city slipped under the Earth's crust beneath the Pacific Ocean.
Oh yes.
So, Cthulhu basically will cause you to lose your fucking mind. That is the call of Cthulhu. Imagine this fucking creature finally awakening from the city of R'lyeh and coming out of the Pacific Ocean and causing everyone in the immediate vicinity to just go fucking mad. Like 28 days later, the Sadness style mad.
The popularity of that stems even into the video game horror world because Bloodborne actually has a part of a DLC that is straight out of an H.P. Lovecraft section. It's the fishing village.
Yep.
Looks just like it.
Yep.
That whole section, it's been confirmed that Miyazaki, the guy who created Dark Souls and all that, shout outs, use that as a reference.
Yep.
So that's how
The amygdala is
The
literally
amygdala.
Cthulhu.
And almost all the bosses that are the major ones are the old ones.
Are the old ones, yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I have such a love for Bloodborne.
waiting on Bloodborne 2, baby.
Waiting on Bloodborne 2. Come on, From Software.
Next gen console with fucking co-op. We're chilling, bro.
Oh my God, we chilling hard. So yeah, that's my number one.
Very nice.
Yeah,
A little step around the world.
little step around the world with Rob.
And you lived in Greece with me, took a trip to Tokyo and came back, and then we had some more Greek, sorry.
Went to Ireland, went to Japan, went to Scotland, went to America.
You, man, still thinking about Greek and even Norse mythology. Just even Prometheus. My man was tied to a tree.
Oh yeah, tied to a tree. And
which is why people kind of tie it to the lighthouse.
Yeah.
The meaning of that could be one of the ways you can
the
interpret that
Prometheus
movie.
effect, yeah.
So,
Yeah, man. I love our top fives.
same, dude.
They were fucking delicious.
Like, definitely read into those, our fellow listeners. Because,
yeah.
they're interesting, man. If you really look into a lot of mythologies, anything, there's a lot more dark stories to them than just what
Oh yeah.
kind of being turned into kids movies, which is great because I love Hercules, the Disney films. But then they're just fucked up stuff that Hercules isn't really just a hero. Done some pretty fucked up shit too. So
Yeah, he's done some fucked up shit.
so
Like
they're all interesting. That's why I agree with you. I enjoy this new increase of the use of real deities that not everyone is just not always something with God and Satan or something. It's we're finally getting like other cultures brought in without it being too, up your ass about it, being too like we're ass kissy culturally. We're introducing you to religions or any other folk tales that none of us have heard of. And it's fucking interesting, man.
Yep. It's super fucking interesting.
It's a way to learn about, not just the normal monuments of another country. You know what I mean? You learn more about it. So it's cool.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. This is a fantastic pick for an episode.
Thanks, man.
I really loved going into different mythologies that I've been learning about,
Yep.
and going into horror from different perspectives. It made me appreciate my love for folklore
Right.
that I've been coming into my own with. So yeah, it was super fucking dope, man.
I know. I enjoyed this quite a bit. I finally saw a bit of Dead Snow.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that shit is crazy.
yeah. I told you, dude.
Oh my god, it's so brutal, bro. We got to
That-
fit that into a horror club somehow too.
That's I told you that might be a hidden gem if you
That's a
finish
hidden
it.
gem.
Oh, it is, and
We're
you ain't
adding
even finished it. All right,
It's I got about halfway. It's a hidden gem.
that's
It's
number 9 then.
It's so bad. It's fucking amazing.
Well, not number 9, but it's our
It's
ninth
in the-
hidden gem. Yeah.
Yeah, that's our 9th entry. We need one more.
We need one more, and then we're gonna be doing a horror tube episode, creating our top 10s.
And to see how different they are. Ooh, that's gonna
Yeah,
be
see
a
how different
good
they
one.
are. Yeah.
Next milestone episode. That's what we gotta do.
Yeah.
And even if we figure out tomorrow what our 10th is,
Right.
we can still give ourselves plenty of time and write out a script, bro.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Hell yeah. So let's give a little talk about football in 2023.
American football.
American football.
Bud Light.
All right.
Stuff.
So before we recorded, Josh was like, "Who do you think's going to the Super Bowl?
Yep.
Who do you think's going to the Super Bowl?"
It was. Do you think that it's going to be the Eagles versus the Chiefs again?
And I said no. I don't think it's going to be the
Me
Eagles
either.
versus the Chiefs. So we're going to give to you our Super Bowl picks for the 2023 NFL season, literally about a week after the 2023 draft happened.
And just only basing it solely off of the info we know personally and the draft. That's it.
That's it. That's all. and like I know you know who your opponents are
Yeah.
for this season and everything. So we're including our schedules, everybody's schedules. Like we're giving our thoughts and feelings here. I think it's going to be the Bills and the Cowboys.
And the best part is I can see it because the Cowboys are going to be pissed. Eagles went and I'm pretty sure they got swept by the Eagles, right? The Cowboys.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be like a payback season. So it's going
I-
to be you just lost the Super Bowl and now we're going to shit in your mouth.
I just feel like the Cowboys and the Bills have been on that cusp for the last few years, and with all the shakeups that are going on in the AFC this year, I think because they have a solid team and you're getting a lot of solid weapons in the AFC for sure, but you got a lot of ego now too.
The only thing that I could see not being the Bills, because I agree on the Bills. I think the Chiefs are going to choke in the championship or at least lose in the second round.
I say they're going out the first round. I say the fucking Chiefs are going to go in wild card this year.
I can see for the AFC, for like on your side for the Bills, I could also see the Bengals.
Okay.
Just because if Joe Burrow actually plays well and doesn't get injured,
Right.
and they're healthy, they're pretty fucking solid too. AFC North is looking kind of stacked and it's scary as fuck.
Yeah.
Especially because I'm a Steelers fan and they're still rebuilding, so it's gonna be
And
like,
and
is it
you
a
got
Brown season?
and you don't know if the Ravens are gonna gel
Yeah.
and actually fucking float through the season,
Mm-hmm.
or if they're gonna implode by game 3.
Right.
Especially with Antonio Brown joining the mix and shit.
Oh my God.
Like, dude,
It's gonna be the Brady fucking Randy Moss days with two of them.
yeah, it's gonna be a wild fucking season.
Mm.
Then of course my Panthers, my beloved Panthers, drafted number 1, traded with the fucking Bears, got ourselves Bryce Young. Look, I'm happy with that pick, man.
Nope.
I know that he doesn't have a lot of games under his belt, but that man's football IQ is fucking ridiculous.
Let's hope he doesn't have too much fun, or they'll just be pissy with him like Cam Newton.
I said to Ernie when I looked at him, I was like, dude, he literally looks like a mixture of Jalen Hurts and Cam Newton. Like his features look like a combination of both of them. Like they fused and made Bryce Young.
Well, real quick, I forgot to say what my pick was for the Super Bowl before we got into
Oh my God, you did.
going back to the Ravens, I think it's going to be the Ravens and the Lions. I feel like the Lions are going to have the most weirdest season. If everyone remembers, I forget what year, but the Seahawks got into the playoffs at 7-9.
Yep.
That's how the Lions are, but they're going to win the Super Bowl. They're going to
bold
actually
prediction,
beat
Cotton.
They're going to beat the Ravens,
Bold
who are going to be they're going to be like Globo Gym versus
Oh
the
my
average
God.
Joes, and and the Lions are gonna win. That's my boldest prediction ever with football. But that's what I want to see.
Dude, what if it's the fucking Lions and the Cowboys and the NFC Championship
Holy
game?
fuck.
Oh my God.
Ugh.
Oh shit.
Do you think that the Jets are going to be good with Aaron Rodgers, or do you think that they're fucked anyway?
There was a meme that I saw that was like, if you weren't with us while we were 7-10, don't be with us while we're 8-9. and
That's pretty good.
It was Rodgers holding up the jersey. Yo, that's it right there. Don't be with us when we're 8-9, bro. Like look. They're gonna do okay. They're gonna be mid. Yeah. They're gonna be mid, Cotton. They're gonna be mid.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty poo poo.
Yeah,
man, and it's weird that still the Pats aren't the most dominant team anymore.
I know, it's weird.
It's crazy to like the end of the arc was finally Tom Brady was the reason that the Patriots are good.
And it's gonna be.
And I don't even fuck with Tom Brady.
And it's gonna be weird to me this season. I don't have any more fucking Tom Brady and
Drew Brees.
Sean Payton. I don't got him being the coach of the fucking Saints. Who the fuck did? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. The Bucks picked up dipshit from Cleveland. Then he went to fucking Panthers, and now he's in.
I have no idea.
Exactly. He's a fucking piece of shit quarterback.
God damn. Brutal as hell.
He was doing the fucking Nationwide commercials or some shit.
Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Oh, yeah. When he was in the Browns, I wanted to drop kick him. So fuck him.
Dude, when he was on the Panthers, I was like, you fucking suck.
Nice career, bro.
Nice career. Well, I mean, better than any.
I mean, he's made more money than I'll ever make.
Right, but fuck him.
Yeah, nice bank commercials, dude. Or whatever that shit was.
So, yeah, the Buccaneers have Baker fucking Mayfield. Like, it's going to be weird in the NFC South this season. You guys have a hell of a fucking journey ahead of you.
God, the Steelers are going to get just shoryuken, uppercutted to oblivion for a couple seasons.
Panthers definitely have a chance to make it into the playoffs.
I say at least 5 or 6 seed, 100%.
Yeah, I think Panthers can do it. They've been going around picking up a merry band of fucking mutants this offseason.
The good thing is, I feel like both of our teams are starting to finally be like, okay, we'll bring in some not 10-year in the league motherfuckers. Right. Someone who's fresh into the league.
Yeah, and that's fucking awesome.
And it's cool that Joey Porter's kid is a cornerback for the Steelers. So,
yeah.
Keep it in the family.
A little bit. Yeah.
So, Joey Porter talked shit on Steelers when he went to the Dolphins at the end of his career, but
yeah.
But still, that's cool though. I like
that's
that.
Cool. Yeah.
Football, woo, woo.
I thought you were gonna say like eat a bag of dicks.
We got only 2 more months until the season starts.
Yeah, man.
Well, preseason. Well, for some football fans, the season doesn't start to the regular season. But even the off season, it's like fuck you, bro. We still beat you.
Yeah.
First string's better than our third string's better than yours.
Better than your third string, bitch. Yeah, man.
That was a good horror tube.
That was a great horror tube. And at the end of every horror tube, we give you the reveal of the next episode of Horror Wars. And because I came prepared this week, I actually have episode number 43 pulled up right now.
Oh, yes, delish.
And
very thematic for next week.
Very thematic because it's going to be Mother's Day.
Shout outs to every mom, all moms.
Versus Mother's Day for the war. And Mother, ! Oh,
yes.
For Horror Club.
I hope that they're good, man. Because the last time fucking Sorority Row was poop. That was a struggle.
I'm telling you right now, dude, when you watch Mother, Horror Club is going to be wild this week.
Oh, baby girl, I'm ready.
You need to watch it with deity eyes on, sir. Okay?
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my, oh, my.
Yes, sir.
All right, dude, I'm hyped.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I can't say that Mother's Day are great movies.
Okay.
Both of them are available on Tubi.
Okay.
They're mid.
Okay.
But they're better than the sorority movies from the last episode.
Okay. Anything better than that, I will be okay with watching.
Yeah. But that's just revving us up for like 5, 6 back-to-back bangers.
Oh, and dude, I can't wait for 50.
Like literally 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50 are all bangers.
And 50 is our anniversary, right?
50 is our 2-year anniversary.
For Horror Wars. For
Horror Wars.
Man, when did we start this? January?
Yeah, somewhere around the beginning of the year, probably.
Yeah.
So, all right, man.
I have an idea that we can maybe throw in real quick is maybe for Horror Tubes one year we could do like a live show for once.
Just like set up
right there. I can put my little tripod thing up. We'll use my phone or whatever.
And we just sit right here
we'll
like
just sit
this.
right here just like this and talk. Have a
Yeah.
live chat.
That'd be dope.
So,
Yeah, do it on like Instagram Live
so
for
this
our
way we
1
don't
year.
have to worry about where we're doing a different kind of event type thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So we'll see you in 2 and 2.
Hey!
Shout out to Chuck Woolery.
Shout out to Chuck Woolery. You got to say it, man. You got to. I'm Rob.
That was Horror Tube. I'm Josh.
I'm Rob.
And we'll see you on the next one, folks. Love you.
We're still trying to remember that we're reverse on HorrorTube.
Did I still say I'm Josh?
Yeah, I said I'm Rob, and then I was like, wait a minute, no.
Yeah. I'm Josh.
I'm Rob.
And I'm Rosh.
I'm Rosh, and I'm Job.
And this was Horror Tube.